Hi everyone, welcome to day 4 of Self-Love and Human Design. Today we'll be continuing with looking at the gates, and we'll be looking at gates 10, 13 and 15. So the first gate that we'll be looking at is gate 10, which is the gate of the behavior of the self. And this is all about the love of ourselves and the love that we have for who we are. This gate empowers us to surrender to ourselves and to live in our authentic selves, and to also see the potential that we have. And the questions that this gate asks of us is to look and see who we believe ourselves to be in this present moment. And if we are able to surrender to this, are we okay with who we are? If we're not, why are we not okay with who we are? And can we find a way to accept ourselves and love ourselves for who we are? Gate 10 has a strong emphasis on loving ourselves as part of a bit bigger picture, in the sense that when we love ourselves, this can impact humanity and those around us. When we can embrace our light and our shadow, it is a way of us being fully self-aware, and a way in which we can live true to who we are. And in that sense, when we accept both sides of us and love ourselves exactly for who we are, we can encourage those around us to do the same. And it also impacts the decisions that we make and the direction that our life takes. Loving ourselves is huge in terms of, the impact that we have on the decisions that we make in our lives. With a lack of loving ourselves, we don't feel the same sense of empowerment that we would do when we make decisions. So this is a really important energy to work with and to understand, particularly because there is a danger of falling into victimhood and blaming others for our circumstances if you're coming from the low expression of this gate. The next gate that we're looking at today is the Fellowship of Man, the gate of the listener. I really like this gate. So this is all about the stories that we tell. And unlike the gates that come from the throat, excuse me, this gate doesn't feel pressured to speak by the throat center like some others would. So this energy of the gate is one of having a gift of listening to stories and collecting stories. And through the listening and collecting of stories, we're able to take wisdom from these stories, or take information from the stories and turn them into wisdom, which contributes to our understanding and contributes to the understanding of others. With this gate undefined, you get to listen to those with gate 13, take on the stories that they are speaking, hear their knowledge, and take that wisdom and use it to empower your own life. The question with this gate is, do you have any stories yourself that hold you back from doing the things that you would like to do? And the thing that we can ask ourselves when we're trying to work through perhaps events in the past that we may feel hold us back, are to look back and see whether those experiences have enabled a part of us to grow, or whether we've learnt something from that experience. So the key to self-love in this gate really is about looking at the way in which we tell stories. And do we do this in a loving way? Is the narrative full of love and compassion, or is it a narrative that is dictated by past events that perhaps are negative? And so, yeah, the power really is taking the wisdom and learning from the stories and using them for our own self-awareness and progression and helping others with it too. It's important with this gate that you work with your strategy and authority to make sure that when you do share these stories, you're doing so because you've been invited to share them, or you have something to respond to, for example. And the final gate today is gate 15, modesty, the gate of extremes. This gate is all about compassion and love of humanity. If you can imagine a rainbow or a color palette, there are just so many different colors in the color palette, and that's kind of like our personalities. There are so many expressions in our personality and the personality of others and throughout humanity, that really this gate is calling for compassion and understanding of the extremes within us as humans, and the people that we share our lives with, the people that we interact with on a daily basis. So this energy, encourages us to look within, to love and understand ourselves and our personality spectrum, and acknowledge our personality traits. And when we can see this in ourselves and accept and love it for what it is, rather than necessarily trying to change it, it encourages compassion in others because there's so much more understanding. So the low expression of this gate is perhaps feeling as though you don't have enough, or you don't have the personality traits that you wish that you had, rather than focusing on all the great things about you. So that's the gates for today, and in your inbox you'll find the journal prompts. Let me know how these gates play out for you. I'd love to hear how they work for you. And tomorrow we'll be doing our final 2 gates, which is gate 25 and gate 46.